Nate's shocking proposal to Victoria and Adam's discovery of Nick in Sally's hotel room. Season 1, The Young and the Restless. On today's episode of The Young and the Restless, Imani defends Nate, Nick and Sally have sex once more, and Adam meets Chloe and Victoria. Sally reads Nick's overnight text message at Newman Media. Chloe brings in takeout as penance for her bad behavior the day before. I'm attempting an apology by saying this. As for Adam, they can just agree to disagree. Chloe thinks it's unprofessional for her supervisor to scold her and she wants to start over. Before they can begin their workday, Sally informs her that she must first attend to an urgent matter. Nick enters Victoria's office just as she is thinking about hiring Nate Hastings. Nick claims to have bumped into him and that he is eager to make a shift. He advises that they find a way to work with him already in order to get him hired. Victoria will consider this further. How does Sally feel? She inquires. To make up for skipping the marketing meeting, she hopes he didn't just shrug off her explanation. Victoria assumes that his reluctance proves that she is correct. Nick claims he can handle the situation on his own. Sally knocks and walks in at that very moment. She halts abruptly upon seeing Nick, but continues on to make amends with Victoria in person for skipping the marketing meeting. She admires her resiliency in the face of adversity and is certain that she, too, will eventually develop such qualities. This is an error that she will not repeat. Victoria chimes in good. Nick says he needs to talk to Sally about that other thing they got into, and asks if she has time for coffee. Sally promises that she will fit it in. Lily, Devin, and Imani get together at Chancellor Winter's. What are the legal repercussions if Nate doesn't change his mind and stay? Can he steal ideas and utilize them elsewhere? And Imani wonders, you mean all those excellent ideas you people shot down? Nate's chair hasn't even become cold, and now they're discussing potential legal repercussions. Is it the norm in this household? Devin asks her why she's being so protective of Nate. Clearly someone has to be, Imani snarled. To which Lily only gives her a frown. She assures me that they would make an effort to reconcile with Nate, but first she would like an update on the intellectual property he has been managing. Imani says Nate is beneficial to the business. She thinks she can convince him to remain. Someone who doesn't want to be there is someone Devin doesn't want to spend time trying to convince. Neither of them can compromise, and he doesn't think that will ever change. Imani is dissatisfied with how readily they are willing to release Nate. Lily becomes frustrated and tells Imani that she doesn't understand. Nate wakes up next to Elena, who claims she let him sleep in because she despises fights between the two of them. She hopes her encouragement will spur him on to seize the next window of opportunity that presents itself and mend fences with his loved ones. Elena is hoping that he has reconsidered moving forward with the strategy he discussed with her. In fact, Nate says he's more resolved than ever. Elena warns him that this will only make things worse. Nate shrugs and says, oh well. She asks if he has considered how upset Lily will be by his actions. This is totally against my morals. In the end, Nate says he'll be doing Lily a favor. Being a visionary isn't what this is about, though Elena doesn't think that's a bad thing. When Nate takes charge, it will be because he has left an indelible impression. The decision has been made and action will be taken today. Nick and Sally chat casually about the weather in the park. Nick gives her a wry grin and assures her they are on equal footing when it comes to being candid with one another. They are all in agreement that nothing should be too strange in their workplace. According to Sally, Adam paid her a visit after their peculiar meal last night. She was confused by his comments. There's a scene at Newman Media where Adam comes out of nowhere to ask Chloe if she's seen Sally. She explains that her manager was summoned in for a chat with Nick. When Adam was CEO of Newman Enterprises, he claims he never once spoke with the company's chief operating officer. Chloe speculates that this could be attributable to the fact that Nikki was involved, who had no interest in pursuing a relationship with him. Adam wonders if and why they are increasing their surveillance on Newman Media. Chloe snarls at him for presuming that they will be terminated. While she was out with him yesterday, Sally had to miss a crucial meeting. After spending the previous evening with her, Adam claims she informed him that the last thing he wanted to do was make things difficult for her. Chloe puts out a hand. You two were back together again? She gives him a stern lecture about his pattern of ruining relationships with everyone he dates. The details of his private life, he insists, are none of her concern. Chloe claims it is when it has an effect on her pal. Adam wants what is best for Sally, but he can't make her see that, so he's leaving. When Chloe learned that Sally was going to be in the same city as him, she sent her a text message asking her to avoid him. It's time for this to end. At Chancellor Winters, Lily says that she and Nate's situation has gotten out of hand at the worst possible time, what with Jill's engagement on the horizon. For the time being, she wants Imani to presume that Nate won't be coming back and to report back to her on the legal matters. Upon Imani's departure, Devin and Lily mutually conclude that the attorney is secretly crushing on Nate. Devin is upset because Lily seems to treat the IPO as if it were already decided without consulting him. Naturally, Lily says yes. Devin probes for the reason she seems to have already decided to support Jill. Lily has no loyalties or allegiances. Devin fears that Lily may make a hasty choice about a matter of grave consequence. He says that Billy shares his reservations about coming public. Devin believes there are only 3 persons involved in making this decision, and that he is the only one who disagrees with it. It's just me here by myself. It's easy for Nick to deduce the subject of Adam's proclamations at the park. Given how strongly she feels for his brother, he doesn't want to stand in the way of their potential reconciliation. Sally is emphatic that this is not the expected outcome. Nick thinks that they should figure things out without his being involved. Adam arrives at Newman and knocks on Victoria's door, claiming he is trying to find Sally. Victoria claims that she and Nick went out for coffee, to which she observes that Nick must not have a particularly crucial role at Jabut. Adam is a man of many talents, to which he says, unlike Sally, the topic shifts to the marketing meeting presentation she missed. She does not think highly of such conduct in a corporate leader. Adam inquires whether she has any idea why Sally was absent from the meeting. The chief operating officer is in charge of all personnel matters for Victoria. Nicholas and she had a fight. She thinks he's trying to tell her that human beings are interchangeable. Adam argues that Victoria is overreacting and touts Sally's virtues. Victoria asks why he is still defending his ex and wants him to please, for the love of God, remove himself from her life if he is causing her so much stress. He will let her move on with her life if he cares about her at all. Adam has finally had enough of hearing that from others. He is attempting to make amends. Sally is really special to me. The error he made was catastrophic. It's no wonder that Victoria doesn't understand where he's coming from because she hates admitting it. He leaves and she sends a text to Nick warning that Adam is on the lookout for Sally, which could spell trouble for them. Imani told Nate at Society that Lily and Devin were upset by his departure. According to her, Lily is holding out hope that things can be resolved. Thanks to Imani, Nate has a superior, more potent option. He plans to become more cruel. Today is the first day. When Devin is out at Crimson Lights, he runs into Elena, who checks on him to see if he's doing fine. Devin reports an improvement and inquires, "What about you?" Same, Elena agrees. It's Nate's fault, he figures, that they're feeling so down. Elena is concerned about his future direction. When Devin hired him, he fully intended for the relationship to flourish. When he finishes speaking, Lily walks in. They both have distinct philosophies, Devin informs Elena. To herself, Elena thinks, that's for sure. Lily interrupts their chat so that she and Devin can have a moment alone. It's over for Elena. Sally needs to focus intently on Newman Media while at the park and avoid getting sidetracked. She values Nick's compassion and thinks they ought to have the same for one another right now. They both rise to their feet and move in for a hug. Should we go back to the office? Nick asked. A naked Sally and an undressed Nick storm into her hotel room and immediately start kissing and tearing one another's clothes off. As they make out, he tosses her onto it and lands on top of her. Sally mumbles, "Well, that did not go according to plan." After an unsuccessful sexual encounter. "I really didn't mean for this to happen again." Incoherently, Nick continues, "This attraction or whatever we're calling it. No way in hell would I have expected that." Their banter leads to a passionate kiss on the back of her neck. She mocks him by saying she's knowledgeable in fields he wouldn't think to look into. Nick tells her that this comes as a shock. She shrugs and suggests they either take a break to overthink it or get some room service, clean up, and go back to work. After meeting with Victoria in her office, Nate reveals that he has a proposal he thinks she'll find quite interesting. He lets out that Jill is keen on making Chancellor Winters public. Even though Lily is on board, Devin and Billy both expressed reservations. He's confident that she and Jill can pull through. Nate is aware of her shopping binge on Newman's behalf, and he is willing to play the role of an inside man, providing her with useful information that would allow her to acquire a controlling stake in Chancellor Winters through the purchase of a majority of its shares. On the terrace of Crimson Lights, Lily expresses her disappointment that the growing animosity between her cousins Devin and Nate has left him with no other choice but to go. "Do you blame him?" Devin inquires, and she probably does, as she thinks he's being unjust to him. Instead of losing Nate, Lily wanted to create a legacy for their children. "I'm going to need you to think about your role in this. Let him win once in a while. What's the big deal?" But Devin insists that's not the case. Lily understands how challenging delegation can be given how long he's been in charge. Inquiring minds want to know, does it go deeper than that? Is he, inadvertently, trying to get revenge on Nate for what happened with Elena? Devin insists it's not revenge. Lily is genuinely sorry. Please bear with her while she tries to work everything out. There is some truth, Devin thinks, to the rumors about his leadership abilities, but he is also aware of the hazards and can avoid them. Sometimes, Lily says, people need to learn the hard way. Ultimately, Devin understands that she is telling him to allow Nate some space for error. Victoria, stunned in her office, can't believe Nate has brought this up to her. Why would you want to assist Newman in acquiring a majority stake in Chancellor Winters? Nate respected his abilities and motivation. He must be given an opportunity to shine. In response, she questions, "You think offering me insider information is the way to do that?" Nate promises to assist her in acquiring the stock if she will place him in charge of the business. Upon hearing this, Victoria replies, "You would do that to your own family?" When I ask Nate if he agrees, he nods. Nick and Sally had finished getting ready in her suite. Nick sees Victoria's text message alerting him about Adam. When Sally opens Chloe's text message, she sees that she wants her to stay away from Adam. She feels she needs to return to work. Suddenly, there's a knock on the door, and it's Adam who walks in and is very taken aback to see Nick in Sally's room.